Hi everyone, and Professor Katz. I'm here today to talk about my learning outcomes and my testing blueprint. As we discussed in Chapter 6, a testing blueprint is basically used by teachers to guide test instruction. More specifically, helps us to remember the right objectives and give a list of what we feel as educators the students should be able to learn by the end of a unit or by the end of a lesson. So my testing blueprint was targeted towards sociology students in 12th grade. Um, Altogether, I gathered 5 learning outcomes that I found essential for students to learn by the end of the unit. One of which include being able to state the basic concept of sociology. Given the basic products of human interaction, the student should be able to identify the components of society. In addition, the student being able to arrange the different parts that constitute society. Given a major sociological perspectives, the students can apply philosophies to real-world situations. And lastly, given the characteristics that construct social stratification, the student can identify social positions using functionalistic and conflict theories. So, as seen in my testing blueprint, I weigh heavily on their comprehension of what society is by definition or their own interpretation, aided by actual text material within the lesson, and I weigh less heavily on students being able to arrange and put together different parts that constitute society, because we will probably get more in depth later on in the chapter. So I was fortunate enough to speak with one of my professors at UMBC who taught one of my sociology classes. After we discussed exactly what I was doing, she was curious to see what I came up with. Altogether, she told me that it was a good start. She didn't downplay anything. She just basically suggested that I was more specific in what I expected from students. Wrote down a good example. For example, detailing what I want them to be able to remember and understand, such as the term sociology, culture, religion, value, spirituality. I know one of my objectives as well, my learning outcomes, when I talked about students being able to arrange the different parts that constitute society, I should instead make them list, what are the major institutions of society, and being able to make sure that they understand that. So that's basically the summary of my learning objective in my testing blueprint.